Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Formula One 2021 League. This is race number 10 in Mexico. This is a very tricky track, a lot of places to spin here. It's going to be an interesting race overall, no matter what. I feel like I say this quite often, that it's not one of my better tracks, but I don't know. I'm somewhere in the middle, I think. I'm going to put the points up here nice and early so you can see where we're at. We just raced Austria, so if you haven't watched that one, that was action-packed. Please go watch that one first. But Austria, we did in fact win for our 5th race win in a row, so this would be number 6 if we win this one. And you can see that we have a 42-point lead over Moro, who is Alex Emotive on the scoreboard there. And we have a 4-point lead in the Constructors' Championship. So right now we really need to keep our momentum going to make sure that we can do well in the teams, but we're coming to the point now that it might be that if I win enough of these races over Moroz, I will win the Drivers' Championship before the end of the season. So that's what we're gunning for. Let's see if we can clinch it, and here's the very first lap. So now on to the end of my, you can see it's lap number 4 for me, but my other laps really weren't laps. I am on the medium yellow wall tires, and I'm setting a pretty good time. You can see I purpled the first 2 sectors here, but I'm currently 3rd, and it actually doesn't improve my position enough on these mediums. So I decided to go out on the softs. I fell to 4th by this time, and I felt like position on this track was going to be very important for my race. So now down the long straight, this is where you can get the benefit of less downforce, a little bit less drag into the first couple corners, but there's a lot of tight turns. You need that bite on your tires, and we're going to take these curbs a little heavy, but you gain a lot of time, as you can see already on my lap, in which I purpled the sector, meaning I was the fastest on the track at that time. I'm already up quite a bit, and I purple sector 1 again, fastest in sector 1 on the track. Then we go into the next couple corners, still tight, and this is a bit of a longer double. It's a one hairpin, but it's a double apex hairpin, which makes it a little awkward. And now into the hardest part of the track, the chicane. You can see I'm a little wide there. I'm really lucky not to invalidate on that one. It's super close. I must have just been touching the line, and it's as flat out as we can do. Left, right, down the final straight. The exit is so important. You can see I'm half a second up because I was able to hold my speed. And I'm even catching the car in front of me. Into another hairpin into a tight right. At this point, my tires, you can see my front left is already 104 degrees after 1 lap, and it's going to be tight. You want to go tight to the line here, and I think I remember the last second, but I'm a second faster, 3 purple sectors, and we get pole position, and that is going to stick for the finale, so we will be starting this race in first position. Now, on to the race itself. You can see here, for whatever reason, the game will sometimes select you on the alternate strategy if it thinks it's better. So you really have to pay attention to that. I always double click just to make sure, and I think I realized at the last second here. Not that softs to hards would be that bad. As you can see, the mediums kind of just start going off towards the end of the race, but I think I'm okay on that. And you can see here at the very last second, I'm going to switch and go, what the hell is the game doing to me here? Right now, we are in a good position for this race. Obviously, we're starting at the front, and we get to set the pace as we get 5 red lights on Mexico, and it's a very fast start. And we're just going to try and correct our massive amount of over revs as Moroz takes a look down the inside, but he quickly slips into our slipstream, but he's going to have a look on the inside, and I have people on my left as well, so I need to choose one line here. You cannot wiggle down the straight. I'm going to give him the inside line so I can have the inside of the next one, and we're just going to hold out in the first couple corners. Already, there's a lot of battling behind me, and it was good for me to defend the way I did. Understanding how corners go into the next corner can really decide how you defend there. So me giving the less optimal line into turn 1 meant I have the most optimal line into turn 2. Now this is the most important part. Again, I don't want to lose it just yet. The tires will be a little bit cold. They should warm up pretty fast, as you saw by my qualifying. I just don't want to get any early warnings, and you can see that Moroz and Chills are definitely battling at least a little bit, but I almost have Moroz out of DRS after lap 1. So at this point, if I can maintain this, he's going to have to use a lot of battery to catch up, and then I can use my battery to try and push him out of the zone again. Alright, a fairly large skip here from lap 1, but as you can see, we had no issues keeping Moroz out of our DRS. In fact, he's 2 seconds behind us now. And I'm looking for a bit of an overcut. You can see my front left is the one that was hot in the time trial, and it's also the most worn out here. You can see the correlation there. You can see my pit lane is active, so it's telling me I can come in, but I want to extend my stint a little bit so that my mediums are good. You saw at the beginning of the race that my mediums will start to wear off towards the end. So right now I want to make sure I have the fastest tire at the end. At the cost of a little bit of space to Moroz and Chills behind me, who have just pitted. In fact, quite a few people are pitting here, so this is a very important lap for me. I need to use a good amount of battery, which it's been hard to save because I've been using it to make sure Moroz doesn't get any closer than a couple seconds. But I need to try and get as fast a lap as possible. And you can see, like, while we're sitting red sectors, saying that it's not our fastest lap, we're still doing okay on these tires. The softs are really, really good on Mexico, but I just need to be careful that I don't spin here. It's very important that I hit this while maintaining some level of speed. As you can see, Moroz is 22 seconds behind. Very lucky not to invalidate there, or not invalidate, get a warning there. The track is a little generous because usually you lose time by going wide there. But you can see, oh, right on time. There is a virtual safety car right at the time I need it. This is going to really help our pit stop. I do have a delta while I'm going in here, but once you're in the pit lane, you don't have to follow it. However, it took away my ability to see what speed I needed to do, so I kind of slammed my brakes, but it doesn't matter. These tires are going away. I need to pit now regardless, and this is just going to make my pit stop so cheap. Unless this goes into a full safety car in which everyone will catch up to me. But you can see that because Moroz was 27 seconds behind me, now I'm coming out of the pits. We'll see just how much time he lost by being behind a virtual safety car. And you can see the gap is about 7 seconds, maybe 6 seconds, and the VSC's ending. And I'm trying to just stay green, and right as it ends, for whatever reason, it decides that I was not green, even though you never saw my my delta turn red there, which means I have a drive-through penalty. And this is one that if you do not serve, you will get disqualified from the race. So I now have to serve this. This is worst case scenario. I don't know. There's a little bit of closeness in the delta time, but it never turned red, so from my perspective it looked like it was fine. And you can see I gained 4 seconds under that VSC from Moroz, who also probably would have gained another 2-ish seconds by having fresher tires. And now I have to serve this penalty, so this is going to make this race a lot harder for me, as the pit lane is not a short one. And it's damage control time for me.
We're expecting rain in around 10 to 15 minutes.
And so now I go to serve my pit penalty. I need to do this before the end of the race. You saw it said serve in 3 laps. That is the window in which I will be disqualified if I wait too long. And if this looks painful to watch, just imagine how painful it is to drive, counting 16, 17, 18 seconds in the pit lane, losing me all that time to Moroz. I am going to come out ahead of Eric here. He's going to be within DRS range, but I'm confident that I can get ahead, as there's a yellow flag ahead, but I think it's just a McLaren that's gone a little wide, one of the back markers. So now we have, like I said, some damage control to manage. There's still points on the table here. Because the drive-through felt unfair, I can argue it afterwards, and they will take my overall time loss, which is the 17.8, and I can argue to get it removed at the end of the race. But now I need to have a clean race as I go super wide at that double apex there. So it's this is a time where you need to calm your temper and make sure you race well. I could spin though, so.
Yeah.
And could safety car.
Either way.
Oh, the McLaren just went on the wall. The McLaren's out. As I said it.
PSP.
Okay,
Is
slow
that
down,
has to be a
slow
safety
down.
car. He's in the middle
Your
of the
delta
track.
is negative, which means you are
Safety
too
car.
fast. Reduce your pace.
Am I going in for soft?
Okay,
Yeah, I
we
am.
can take you this lap.
Box this lap?
Almost a bit of commentator's curse there, as there is a full safety car as the McLaren goes into the wall, and I have a huge lockup there going into the pit lane as I'm trying to see what speed I'm doing. Once again, it's blocking it. Maybe there's an adjustment I can make. I'm gonna have to look into that, but I want to pit here because I want to go on soft tires. This is going to be the fastest tire on the track by over a second, and as everyone's bunching up, I can use those tires to try and beat everyone. And what you might have noticed is that I am on softs, but no one ahead of me is, meaning the safety car happened after they passed the pit lane. So now Moroz and Eric and I can't remember who's in first right now. I feel like it might be Chills is in first. They are all on medium, so now I get to catch them for free as we go to the safety car queue, and we have a race on our hands. So now, importantly, as we're about to restart, you can see I am, in fact, behind the front three. I can now no longer dispute my drive-through penalty because the race had effectively a restart. So now, because anything can happen and this happened, we are stuck here, and I'm trying to vibe position with Moroz. I maybe mistime it a little bit, but I'm going to slam on the battery. I really want to send it on him early. His tires are older. My tires are newer. I can brake a little bit later, and I want to get him on the inside. And you can see Sinful is also looking to potentially get me here, but I'm definitely sending it on him here. And I'm going to take him on the first corner, give him the inside. Eric is really, really slow here, so we're stuck. We're braking hard. I just barely avoid a warning there, which is really important. But Moroz, unfortunately, gets that inside similar to the very first lap, and I'm considering trying to send it, but it's not enough space. And I think that's Sinful going into the back of me a little bit. Gives me a little love tap. I'm not sure if he's okay. I think he's going to have a little bit of damage, but it doesn't affect our race. And now we just got to keep going as we see a car spin out. I think that was Tristan. It is. And he's going to fall out of this race. Once it gets to the last two laps, there is not going to be another safety car, even if there should be a safety car. It's just how the game works. And you can see just how much grip I have over Moroz. He's going to be sending that battery, though. He's trying to get position on Eric. He knows I am close behind, and they're forcing me to brake hard as they battle, and I'm just trying to get a position, trying, going over the curb, and Moroz doesn't get the move to stick, but you can see Eric's back light is flashing, meaning he is out of battery, and now this exit is so important. Moroz starts flashing, he's out of battery. I'm at 60%, and I'm going to use all of it here. And you can see Moroz is sending whatever battery is. I want to get ahead so Moroz can't slip down the side, but he has just enough battery to keep me out, and I have to fall behind Eric. And now I'm looking to do what I did on turn one and go around the outside to have the inside of the next corner, and we're getting a little bit of a tap. Moroz is gonna get, he squeezes, and he just holds it, and Sinful is right behind us, so it's all gonna be down to this. I need to pass him soon. My tires won't last that long. I need to send it here, and my braking spot's a little late, and I'm gonna go into the back of Eric, and I'm gonna spin, and that is my race solidified in the worst way possible. We tried so hard. We're gonna fall all the way to 7th, and man, if I was upset about the race earlier, I am upset now because, like I said, the drive-through penalty can't get disputed as I get a warning. It's my second warning, I believe, and you can see I'm spinning. I'm all over the place. I'm not happy here, not concentrating, over-throttling. My tires are 108 degrees at the back, so the back end's gonna swing out quite a bit. I have to be very careful here. Man, and yeah, it's with nothing to contest on the drive-through. It's just how this race is going to be. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do to change it. And so on to the final lap of the race with some extra warnings in here, as I just don't care at this point. But Sosa having an issue, so I get a free pass. I somehow don't get a warning for cutting that corner completely. This game is full of bugs. It's one of the reasons why we play on strict for stuff like that, so it tries not to happen, but it still does. Because I got the warning, I also, even though I'm within 2 seconds of my teammate and 4 seconds of Sinful, I'm going to hold my position where I am. My teammate actually gets ahead of Sinful, which is good for our points. But if I had kept a more level head here, because of their penalties, and if I didn't get my penalties, I would have come third. My teammate would have come fourth, which is a great finish. But you know, it's hard to keep your emotions in check there, and that's why I have to tip my hat to professional drivers, because stuff like that happens and they just put their head down and they get through it. So a lesson for me in future races. But overall, I think today was okay. We got very unlucky, but we raced really well. The braking point miss was just a little bit, probably overheating brakes. But that does mean that we are 32 points ahead of Moroz. He caught up a good amount this race. And unfortunately, we are 1 point trailing in the Constructors' Championship. So every weekend now is so important as we are running out of races to get points. The team battle is really, really hot right now, so this is what it's going to come down to. And I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. It's a bit of a change up from 5 wins in a row. We get a little bit more of an action-packed video with some bad news, but I think that's good to show as well that you know, sometimes losing can be fun, even if at the moment it's not fun. So thank you all for watching. I hope to see you on the next race, and I will talk to you then. Bye now.